Have you ever stopped to think about how your perspective on friendships changes as you grow older? When you're in your younger years, maintaining a large circle of friends might feel essential. You're socializing, networking, and constantly surrounded by people. And that seems to be the norm. But what happens when you hit your 70s? Suddenly, the pressure to keep up with everyone and everything starts to fade. You begin to realize that the friendships that once seemed so important might not be as essential as they once were. It's not about being lonely or isolating yourself. It's about the surprising truth that after 70, you might actually find more freedom, peace, and fulfillment when you let go of certain relationships. Today, we're diving into that truth and exploring why, for many, it's time to reconsider the role friendships play in their lives after 70. If you've ever wondered whether it's okay to step back from friendships as you age, this video is for you. We'll take a closer look at why letting go of old friendships can be liberating and how you can embrace this stage of life with a new sense of freedom. As we age, our perspectives on friendships begin to shift in ways we might not expect. When we're younger, friendships often feel like a necessity, part of the fabric of our daily lives. We surround ourselves with people, form circles, and maintain social obligations because that's what we think we need to do to feel connected, accepted, and fulfilled. But what if the rules change as we get older? When you reach your 70s, you might notice something surprising. The friendships that once seemed so crucial may not hold the same weight anymore. What once felt like a social obligation or a means of validation now feels different. Suddenly, you start valuing peace, solitude, and the freedom to live life on your terms more than the need to maintain a wide circle of friends. It's not about being isolated or cutting yourself off from the world. It's about making a conscious choice to let go of relationships that no longer serve you. And this isn't just about having fewer friends. It's about finding fulfillment in a different way. It's about embracing the idea that after 70, your life can be richer and more rewarding without the constant need for social validation or maintaining friendships out of obligation. In this video, we're going to explore the surprising truth about friendship after 70. Is it time to let go? We'll delve into why it might be the most liberating thing you can do for yourself and how embracing this shift in perspective can lead to a more peaceful, fulfilling life. If you've ever questioned whether you should continue maintaining friendships as you age, keep watching. This might just change how you view your later years. As we get older, our priorities and what we value in life can undergo a significant transformation. When you're younger, friendships are often about socializing, fitting in, and being part of a group. These connections can revolve around shared experiences, common interests, or even just the need to be seen and accepted. However, once you enter your 70s, you might find that these needs begin to diminish. You've already navigated the phase in life where social validation mattered most, where you tried to impress others, keep up with expectations, or surround yourself with people to maintain a certain image. But now, you may realize that you no longer need to prove yourself to anyone. You've lived through it all, the pressures of status, reputation, and social standing, and you've come to understand that true fulfillment doesn't come from external approval, it comes from within. At this stage in life, you've built your legacy, and the opinions of others don't carry the same weight they once did. In fact, the older you get, the more you appreciate the power of independence. You begin to see that your worth isn't defined by the number of friends you have or by constantly striving to meet others' expectations. And that's a powerful realization. When you let go of friendships that were once driven by social validation, you free up emotional and mental space to focus on what truly brings you joy, whether that's cultivating new hobbies, reconnecting with passions, or simply enjoying more peaceful moments by yourself. It's not about pushing others away. It's about choosing to fill your life with things that genuinely make you happy. The need for external approval fades, and in its place, a sense of self-contentment grows stronger. Letting go of friendships that no longer serve you can be incredibly liberating. It creates space for peace, quiet, and a deeper connection with yourself, things that become more valuable as you age. When you're younger, the social pressure to be constantly available, to attend gatherings, and to maintain conversations might feel like part of the normal rhythm of life. But as time goes on, you start to realize that this constant socializing isn't always fulfilling. In fact, it can become draining. The noise, the obligatory phone calls, the repeated small talk, and the never-ending social obligations, eventually all of it starts to feel like more effort than it's worth. You might even notice that certain friendships start to feel like emotional baggage rather than a source of joy. And this is where the real freedom comes in. When you stop worrying about meeting others' expectations or fulfilling social obligations, you begin to experience a new kind of peace. You can now enjoy your own company without the pressure of constantly keeping up with the lives of others. Whether it's spending time alone in nature, reading a book you've been meaning to get to for years, or simply reflecting in the quiet, you begin to appreciate moments of solitude in a way you never have before. Solitude doesn't equal loneliness. It equals freedom. It's a chance to reclaim your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. Letting go of relationships that no longer bring you happiness can actually open up new possibilities for personal growth, self-discovery, and peace. You no longer have to fill every moment with social activity. Instead, you start to appreciate the beauty of being at ease with yourself. As you let go of old friendships, something incredible starts to happen. You begin to understand the importance of quality over quantity. In our younger years, we may have focused on building large social circles, attending events, and keeping up with as many people as possible. But as time passes, the number of friends you need starts to shrink, and what matters more is the depth of the connections you maintain. By the time you reach your 70s, you may find that fewer but more meaningful friendships bring you more happiness than a crowded calendar full of social obligations. This shift is about choosing to surround yourself with people who genuinely add value to your life, rather than keeping relationships out of habit. And it's not just about the people you keep around. It's about evaluating the existing relationships in your life. Are your current friendships truly fulfilling, or are they merely a routine, something you've held on to out of familiarity? Take a moment to assess. Are there friendships that feel one-sided, draining, or superficial? In your 70s, you have earned the right to focus on the relationships that truly matter. You no longer have to tolerate friendships that bring stress or disappointment, and you don't have to feel obligated to keep in touch with everyone from your past. Instead, you can prioritize the people who support, respect, and enrich your life. And sometimes, the most fulfilling companionship is the one you build with yourself. Embracing solitude doesn't mean being alone in the emotional sense. It means finding contentment and peace within, which then opens the door to more genuine, less effortful relationships with others. Letting go of friendships, especially those that have been part of your life for decades, can stir up a range of emotions. You might feel guilty or uncertain, wondering if you're making a mistake or if you'll become isolated. The truth is, these feelings are completely natural, but they also reveal something important. The societal pressure to maintain friendships, even when they no longer serve us, is deeply ingrained. We often associate socializing with happiness and think that a smaller circle means loneliness. But here's the key. There's a big difference between being alone and being lonely. Loneliness is a state of emotional deprivation, while solitude is an opportunity for self-reflection, growth, and peace. In your later years, it's crucial to differentiate between these two. Solitude doesn't have to feel isolating or negative. It can actually be a deeply fulfilling and enriching experience. Many people in their 70s and beyond have discovered that some of their happiest moments come from embracing their own company. Instead of rushing to fill their days with social gatherings, they've found joy in quiet mornings, long walks in nature, reading, or simply reflecting on their lives. The beauty of this stage is that once you step away from the pressure of social obligations, you can cultivate a deeper relationship with yourself. And as you begin to enjoy your own company, something wonderful happens. You start to attract more meaningful relationships. You no longer seek out friendships from a place of need or loneliness, but from a place of fulfillment and mutual respect. By letting go of those relationships that no longer bring joy, you create the space for new, effortless connections to form, ones that align with who you truly are. Once you begin to let go of friendships that no longer serve you, you'll find that the time and energy you gain back can be used in ways that truly fulfill you. Your time becomes more precious as you age, and how you spend it is a reflection of what you truly value. In earlier years, it might have felt like you had endless time to socialize, make plans, and maintain relationships. But as you enter your 70s, time takes on a new significance. You start to see it as a finite resource, something to be spent wisely and meaningfully. The constant obligation to check in with friends, to attend gatherings, or to keep up with the social calendar can begin to feel like tasks on a never-ending to-do list. And that's when you realize something powerful. You have the right to be selective about how you spend your time. Not every friendship needs to be maintained, and not every social event needs to be attended. By stepping back from those relationships that don't add value, you free up space for the things that matter most. Whether that's pursuing personal hobbies, focusing on your health, traveling, or simply enjoying quiet moments. Think about someone like Richard in his early 80s, who spent much of his younger years constantly surrounded by friends and attending social gatherings. But over time, he started to feel differently. The conversations that once felt enjoyable began to feel draining, and the events that were once exciting now felt like obligations. One day, he realized that he wasn't enjoying his time the way he used to, so he made a change. He stopped saying yes out of habit and started saying no when he didn't feel like attending an event. He began dedicating his time to activities that truly brought him joy: reading, walking, learning new things. And surprisingly, he found that he didn't feel lonely. In fact, he felt more fulfilled than ever before. This is the freedom you get when you start to choose how you spend your time based on what matters to you rather than out of obligation to others. As we reach our 70s, one of the most profound realizations is that true companionship comes from within. For most of our lives, we've been taught that happiness comes from external sources, whether it's our friends, family, or social circles. We often associate fulfillment with having a large group of people around us, thinking that being social is the key to avoiding loneliness. But as we get older, many people discover that the most important companionship you can have is the one you build with yourself. The truth is, when you embrace solitude and stop relying on others for constant entertainment or validation, you unlock a deeper sense of freedom and fulfillment. You begin to realize that being alone doesn't mean being lonely. Instead, it becomes an opportunity for self-reflection, growth, and inner peace. Take someone like Eleanor, who's 76. She used to believe that being around people was the key to happiness. She filled her days with social activities, constantly checking in on friends, making plans, and keeping busy. But after a while, she noticed that many of her friendships were based on routine rather than genuine connection. She felt drained, as if she was constantly adjusting herself to fit into social situations that no longer brought her joy. One day, she made a choice to spend more time with herself, and that's when everything shifted. She took long walks without feeling the need to call anyone, sat at cafes with a book instead of making small talk, and spent quiet evenings reflecting on her life. And surprisingly, she felt lighter, happier, and more at peace than she had in years. When you begin to enjoy your own company, you naturally attract relationships that are effortless, those that align with your values and bring you joy, not pressure. True companionship isn't about how many people you have around you. It's about how comfortable you are with yourself. And once you embrace that, you'll realize that you were never truly alone in the first place. As we close, it's important to remember that the idea of letting go of friendships after 70 isn't about isolating yourself or shutting out the world. It's about freedom. Freedom from the pressure of maintaining relationships that no longer bring joy. Freedom to embrace solitude and peace. And freedom to focus on what truly matters to you. By letting go of those social ties that no longer serve you, you make room for a more fulfilling, simpler life. You have the right to choose how you spend your time, who you spend it with, and what brings you happiness. If you're at a stage in life where you're questioning whether your friendships are still meaningful, know that it's okay to step back and reassess. It's not about rejecting others, but about making space for a life that feels true to you. We hope that this video has given you a fresh perspective on the role of friendships in later life and how embracing independence can lead to a more peaceful and fulfilling existence. If this resonated with you, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you experienced a shift in your own friendships as you've aged? Or maybe you're just starting to think about it. Share your experience in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss out on more content. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.